Good morning. It's time for Comics and Coffee with Cliff. And today, Rob's Fat Stacks of Comics. You know him from Only Slabs. And of course, we're going to talk comics curing cancer. Be right back. I'm just so proud of my mature content warning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. just in case Weekend Cliff gets a little too crazy. Rob, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. How are you this morning?
It's a pleasure to be had.
I find that in my experience as well. Oh, we got everyone here. We got Kenneth Bird, Wellbore, Phil from his mobile, John's Comic Sans Kids.
Sans Kids, I like that.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it alive and going because I think I saw those children for the first time a couple of days ago in a picture. And I was like, John, the girls are real.
You know, that was a picture though that he picked up at the drugstore. It came in the frame.
Incredible.
No, you know, I live my life to be Sans Kids. I can't wait, but the problem is they keep coming back.
Well, Rob, that's the thing. You created them, and now they're yours.
Yeah, but I had this. At the time, I thought, 20 years, and then I'll be done with them. But no,
you didn't predict the economy or the.
Well,
or
one of them is still in college, and I've agreed to support them through college, and they're home just for the summer. The other one, he's graduated, and he's in his. Through the end of this year, he graduated this year in the end of spring, and this summer he's been looking for jobs, and he's got a couple interviews and stuff that are in line and working. But I've told him, till the end of the calendar year. After that, you're paying rent.
That's right. Start paying that rent,
dude. I'm not here to be a supporter for the rest of my life. I have my life to live now.
Absolutely.
What a jerk that guy is. That's right.
Terrible. Just terrible. My goodness. Oh. I am losing track of what I was doing.
I was going to say, this is a riveting intro so far.
I am so sorry. I lost my
the mustache is distracting you, isn't it?
It's a fabulous mustache. It's an award nominated mustache.
Every year, let's just be clear here. Every year of the CBC Awards, I have been nominated for this award. And how many trophies do you think I have?
0 for this award.
None. And you know how many I'm going to get this year? None. Because I know who's going to win this year. It ain't going to be me. I know who it is, but it ain't going to be me.
Do you think?
It's all right.
Who do you?
Always the bridesmaid. Oh, Katie will win it.
Oh, I think Katie has a really good shot, but E-Man has been in it year after year as well.
He's never made it to the finals.
Well, he's in the finals now. And Bleecker did not make it this time, so
Right? Yeah. I still Katie gets the. We'll come away with it. Watch. Anyways, that's if I'm a betting man.
We shall see.
I like this graphic. This is kind of cool. What are you donating?
Exactly. What are you donating? The C3 challenge.
Yeah. This was something that I had hoped would run a little bit, hotter than it did. I was hoping to show off some things that I was donating, challenge some people, hope that it would get it out to some other folks and they'd pick up the challenge and they would do the same. Instead, it's mostly just been me reposting other people's stuff and not a lot of challenges as part of it. But the challenge is still there, guys. What are you donating? We're trying to raise $50,000. We moved the event up this year to the beginning of October instead of the end of October, so it's not as close to Halloween. And we are light on where we'd like to be with donations, and that's going to make it harder to hit 50K, but it's still not impossible. But hopefully there's still time to get things in. I'm hoping to get everything in by September 23rd. That gives me time to process it and get it promoted. So we have just over 3 weeks left. So, by all means, reach out to us at Comix Curing Cancer on Instagram or Facebook, and we'll get you the information on how to send in. But before you do, take a snap pic of yourself with the item, hit with the hashtag, C3, grab that graphic, that first graphic he showed, use the hashtag C3 challenge in your post, and name some friends or name some members of the community, whatever, and tag them and say, hey, I'm challenging these folks. So there we go. Hopefully some of those people who've already accepted, like when I did it, I'm still waiting. I'm gonna name names. I'm still waiting for Nerdy Girl and Skeff, who said that they would send stuff in after I challenged them. I'm still waiting to receive your donation.
Well, I know Steph won't let you down. And I don't know Nerdy Girl, so I'm not going to speak for her. But which is funny because she's like around whenever I'm not, which is really interesting.
Are you guys really the same person then? Like Superman and Clark Kent?
No, I know. That would be like fun for me, but like, no. But of course, all donations benefit the American Cancer Society and are 100% tax deductible.
Yeah, and that's a great thing. I mean, I'm sorry to really drive that home. Comix Curing Cancer is an official campaign of the American Cancer Society. So it's not just something that Mark and myself and DJ came up with. Hell, we didn't come up with it at all. We inherited the program, but it is an official campaign of the American Cancer Society. Our donation portal during the event where people are making their money is directly at the American Cancer Society. So you're not handing money to us and hoping that we say it's going where it's going. It really is.
Which is wonderful because you're donating directly on their website, throughout all the challenges and everything. It's very exciting. I won a lovely piece of art last year.
Nice.
So it's an original page of Teen Titans, right? But I could care less. The back page is a sketch of an unused sketch of Superboy.
Oh,
art. That was the part where I was like, "Oh my god, start bidding!"
Nice.
Oh my! So apparently, Durs has pointed out that the bots are back, and I don't know why. I don't understand where the bots are coming from, but whoever's sending the bots, thank you for the Cliffbot army. I love you. I appreciate the Cliffbots giving me watch time. Oh my god, this is the funniest thing ever.
The bots are all from Cybertron.
You know what? Normally that would be alarming to me, but thanks.
It beats being from Russia, so.
If the bots are Las Cruces. Yeah, Las Cruces is trying to win me over to vote.
I have said that Las Cruces is really actually a code name for an AI program developed by the government to monitor YouTube.
It's so funny, but possible. And of course, we have this lovely graphic featuring Deadpool, reminding you to donate slabs, comic runs, keys, etc. So that's very good.
Yeah, these were pieces of art actually from the art book. So that was one of the things we were happy to be able to do this year, was not only to feature some of the graphics that people had generated for us for the art book as part of our promotional stuff, but it also gave us the ability to use stuff that we actually own the rights to, instead of being taking somebody's stuff with off the internet without their permission and stuff and repurposing it. No one would ever do that. But instead, this is stuff that we actually have the rights to use. So
no one would ever do that. As I look at all of my thumbnails, most of my thumbnails. Oh, Rod the Rican, who now Rican Comics and Chronicles.
Nice.
Trev is also nominated. Welcome. So I'm very excited for this year's Comix Curing Cancer. I am really afraid of who to tag.
And just tag everybody.
Just tag everybody. Just go for it. And whoever yells at me, I don't think anyone will yell at me.
No. The worst they do is they just ignore it and remove their tag from the.
Yeah, but do you remember the Ice Bucket Challenge, right?
Sure.
So I was really into it because I really understood it, and I knew that if you partook in it, you were to donate money. Like that was the original challenge, right? It wasn't like you dunk yourself in water and don't send money. It was you do the dunk and you send money, right? And then it kind of got distorted, and it became, do the dunk or send the money, like the whole thing, right? So, but I understood what the principle of it was, and I did it, and I tagged 3 of my friends, and one of the 3 did it, and one of them just ignored me, and the third one saw me in person and said, I don't know why you would tag me in this. It's nonsense. It's this, that, the other thing, right? And I understood his point, but he saw the heartbreak in my face. And he went home and he completed the challenge and he sent money.
There you go.
Because although he thought this had become a thing, oh, it's just a thing that people are doing on the internet for attention. It's BS. It's this, that, the other thing. He saw that I was like really serious, and I had donated money, and I had links to multiple resources you could donate to. So we worked it out, but at least he felt something for it. But hey, it's a good time, and and doing charities for a cause, like my most important meal, which is at the end of October. So everyone, save a few dollars for my food pantry.
And it will be right into Toys for Tots time, right?
And then we'll be right in for Toys for Tots, and then I'll be doing I don't even know. If I get monetized by then, all my money is going to those charities.
Nice.
Okay, I have a really big favor to ask everyone. Never too old to Lego. What is your big favor, sir? Let us know. I love it. Now I'm like it's all big mystery. Like I gotta know. All right. In the meantime, while we wait for that, while we wait for the mystery reveal, I am gonna go into, because this one's a big one for me. It's this week's and my Bussy Buster this week was $5 at a consignment shop.
Oh, very nice.
Right?
$5.
$5 in a consignment shop.
I'll give you 7.
It's mine, baby. It's mine. I mean, it probably needs some pressing, and I'll probably ask Comic Cap Rich to help me out with that. But for $5,
no, absolutely. I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
I mean, blew my mind. I feel like this absolutely counts as my Bussy Buster this week.
And what if it's one of the secret signed ones?
Oh my God, that's a thing. That's right. I'll be knocked out of the water. Knocked out of the water. All right, sir. What do you have for us this week?
All right. So my Bussy Buster. This book was originally a con exclusive, but recently got notification that a few turned up left after they did all their check-ins or whatever else, or they took care of all their damage, had a few left over. So I was able to get a second copy of the Virgin variant of Ultimate Fallout or Ultimate Spider-Man issue 4. The Virgin variant there featuring, oh, that's Mary Jane. Oh.
The beauty.
Yeah, I love the way that J. Scott Campbell just draws the hell. It's unrealistic, but draws the hell out of Mary Jane, and I can't get enough. And I love this. I love her with Peter. So this series, having them together, having a strong family dynamic, the kids, everything, I absolutely love it. It's just, I can't get enough. And this cover, yes,
yeah, I was in queue for those books.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have a chance. Didn't have chance.
I was fortunate that Efren, Past Point Comics,
Yes.
he was not, he was, I had reached out to him and he was at San Diego Comic-Con, and he agreed that he would try to get me a copy because he was going to the J. Scott Campbell booth first thing Wednesday. And he said, if I can pick up more than one copy, I'll get you a copy. So I was able to get a copy from him that way. And then I was on the waiting list for the J. Scott Campbell site. They got notification the other last week that there was some available, and picked it up right away. So super stoked.
See, these variants make me crazy because I know what the conditions are to order. So I always feel like there's more than people say that there are.
There's always some that are held for damage reserves and stuff like that. And so yeah. Or then you get the stuff like the other day I had the limited like 500, and I got the COA said it was 501 out of 500. What? That didn't make sense.
And yet it's happened. I have a Black Widow Spider-Man variant cover, you know, where she's venomized, and it's supposed to be 1 out of 800, and like mine is like 810 out of 800, and I'm like, okay.
You're just telling us that you're lying.
Like I know they're lying because the minimum requirement is 4,000 comics.
Well, so you got to understand a lot. So there's a couple ways that they're doing that these days. So you'll notice more and more where, you know, as the cost on some of these variants have come down just a little bit, you'll see more and more of them have double covers. So they're getting the regular print run, and then they're putting, they're having additional covers then put on top of it. So, and I think that's a little bit different. I think they're able to do that less expensively and without having to then destroy a bunch of books. Is that, you know, you go, okay, we maybe have as a retailer, maybe I have 2 different variants of this book, and each one's going to be, you know, $750, and our partner's going to have this or whatever. And then they get a print run of 4,000 books, and then they attach an extra cover to them. But they're still going to do, there's always still extras that are meant for, that's why they always say, you know, like 700 available for retail sale. Because then there's also artist proofs that go out. There's you know, the extra copies for damage, you know, whether it's a 10 or 15% you're holding for damage books, whatever, and then, you know, whatever else.
So when my shop does it, first of all, he needs like 4 partners so that they can cover the cost.
It's not cheap. Yeah,
it's not cheap. There's no artist proof. All right. It's like, and let's see, mostly that he's done IDW and Dynamic Forces, but like there's no artist proof. It's like, here's your stuff. Now, the one thing that you do get is you get all the incentives. So like when we did the Thundercats one, he had to order like 4,000 or 5,000 copies. So we got multiple 1 in 100s, multiple 1 in 50s, multiple 1 in 10s, multiple 1 in 75s. So we were flush with Thundercats. But it's you know, it's really weird, and like not everyone can pull it. And there's a reason that you see trade variants for 15 and the Virgin for 30 and the foil for 40, and like, you know, the costs get really crazy. People are very particular. IDW a little bit less. They're a little more freewheeling. But there was like a Transformers variant. No, it was a Valiant variant for what's his name? Bloodshot, right? Bloodsport? No, Bloodshot. Anyhow, Valiant,
Bloodshot. Yeah. I always transpose those names as well too all the time.
Yeah. And so they told Ryan, like, because Ryan just has this awesome cover of Bloodshot just pounding the hell out of a guy with his fist. And they're like, well, where's his gun? Right? And he was like, he has to have the gun. So Ryan added the holstered gun under his arm, and they were satisfied with that, though they would have preferred him using the gun. And
Right.
I was like, that was a requirement.
There are. I will tell you from what we heard is like the Comics Curing Cancer exclusive for the Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
That book almost didn't happen because it was set to go, and Nelson from Big Time Collectibles, who covered the cost of the book for us, and had Miko Soyen, who is basically his in-house artist right now, do the artwork. Miko apparently did the artwork like 3 or 4 times, and IDW kept kicking it back. Or I don't know whether it's IDW or Sega or whoever the decision makers were. They kept kicking it back, and he was about to tell them all just to go to hell when finally they approved the last version. And it's like,
holy
thank
cow!
God.
It's Shadow and Sonic. I mean, what are we doing here, folks? My goodness. So Never Too Old. Today is his brother's 50th birthday. He's been drawing for 45 years. He's done work for all the big companies, but he's not well known. Please wish him a happy birthday at Duke Comic Art. Tonight, he is doing a full Batman show at 8 p.m. and a giveaway. I gave Never Too Old for Lego the blue wrench. There is the link to his brother's channel. And you know what? Let's take a look at his brother's channel. So here's his brother's channel. Great stuff. There he is sketching Batgirl, a Batman sketch card, Spider-Man. A comic cover of Batgirl and Batman? Very nice. Miles, who I love. Gwen, who I love. Miles and Gwen. Some Daryl from The Walking Dead on the cover. All right, so this is great. Go check him out tonight at 8 p.m. This is very impressive. That's some good stuff. Hey, if your brother wants to send something to Comics Curing Cancer, get him in touch with Rob. You know what to do, baby.
Wow.
Right? That's quite impressive.
Yeah, and I actually just went from there. I was able to click to go to his actual page where he's got stuff up where he's doing commissions and some of the stuff he's done. And I'm gonna come back and check on some of that because I love me some sketch covers, baby.
Yes, and he's got a Whatnot as well.
Yeah.
So he's got upcoming Whatnot shows. He's Canadian.
Holy
City.
Cow. Oh, Cliff. Hold on,
What did you just click on?
Some of his sketch covers on his site. Check this out.
There we go. There's that Batgirl and Batman finish. Oh my God, Dr. Doom. Good Lord. Oh my goodness. Oh, Sexy Wolverine is there too.
Look at that. Let's see if we can get this bigger.
Oh wow.
Oh, Ultraman. Yes, my hero. Look at that. Hell yeah. All right, we stopped doing this. It's supposed to be about me, Cliff, not about Duke. But damn, Duke.
Well, it is happy birthday, Duke. Happy 50th.
Holy cow. Yeah.
Beautiful
as
work.
one 50-year-old to another. Holy shenanigans.
It is incredible. That is some beautiful stuff.
Look at that Blue Beetle.
Wow.
Covers.
I really enjoy the way he captures color too.
Holy shnikes.
Good gravy.
All right. Well, that's awesome.
It is.
I know. I'm gonna minimize that. I gotta come back to that later. Holy Toledo.
Good morning, G-Man.
It's like got to put something like that in the comic book spank bank.
For real. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Oh my God, it's good to see you all. All right, that is fabulous stuff. We'll check out Duke's show tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm assuming he is in Canada, or it looks like he's in Canada.
Canada does span more than one time zone, by the way.
No, but I know it looks like he's in Ontario. That's
okay. That's fair. Like 60% of Canada. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. They're on my coast. I will be in Canada next weekend. And next weekend, my guest will be MJ Comics. So I love the fact that I'll be in Canada while he's in the UK. You know, adding an international flavor.
Did you forget which country to go visit him?
No, I'll be visiting family, and I'll be at Ottawa Comic Con.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So for the past few years, my mother and I have been staying at the hotel directly across from the convention center, which is convenient for me. And it's great because that's how Giancarlo Esposito got to meet my mother a second time and give her a look and a hat tip, you know? And I'm just like, you know, this has happened twice with my mother and Giancarlo Esposito in 2 countries. So it's like a thing now. And I would love for him to be my stepfather. But like, I'm sure it's just politeness, but it's so cute. Mark shouting out to my robots, apparently. I mean,
hey,
robots, but like still, they probably are.
Let's give them something. Let's go.
So anyhow, so yeah, I'm gonna go this year. There's so many people I really want to meet, but like it's always a struggle. But the comic book shop of Nepean, which is part of Ottawa, whatever, right? They do Midnight Madness every year. It starts at 9 p.m. and goes to midnight. And they do it every year at the weekend of Ottawa Comic Con. And it's 50% off all variant covers and 25% everything else in the store. So I go digging for those Canadian price variants. I go digging for all these comics that, you know, usually I can't find and hope for the best. Last year I picked up a Tomb of Dracula number 50. That was awesome. So let's see what I pull this year.
Very cool.
But so instead of staying at the hotel, my mom goes to the what do you call it? She goes to the casino with my family, right? So they're like, listen, we're much closer to the casino, and the show is only like 20 minutes away. Just stay with us. And you know, and I was like, okay, because like I don't need to spend the money in the hotel, you know, like so I was like, let's do it. Plus we get more time with the family, which should be really nice. So I'm very excited about that. But that's okay. We're gonna move into my next favorite segment. Now, my comic of the week isn't a comic. My comic of the week is something I picked up from Ollie's for $15, and I snagged a copy of X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Nice.
And not only does it include
hardcover, nice
in the hardcover, it also includes
the cover. There you go, cover for the book that was the first printing. Published appearance of Gambit.
That's right, the first published appearance of Gambit, and all the other fun crossover goodness. There's all sorts of Days of Future Present stuff. It even has that issue of Excalibur that warms you up to it. So if you love the time travel shenanigans of the X-Men, the classic time travel shenanigans of the X-Men, this book is for you. Excalibur 67 is in here. I mean, and of course the Alan Davis art is gorgeous. The Chris Claremont, John Byrne, revisits of Days of Future Past is also included. So this was like one of my most fabulous scores ever for a trade at Ollie's. So I'm quite pleased with all of that's goodness.
Nice pickup.
Yes. So this oddly is my comic of the week.
Well, like you said, it doesn't have to be from this week.
That's right.
Yeah. So, for me, mine also isn't from this week. It's actually from the other recent, but it's from this month. So that's important. And that is, I couldn't help it. I had to have this book. I had to seek it out because my LCS didn't have it. It was a 1 per store variant, that Transformers, that Ultra Magnus 1 per store surprise variant. Oh my good golly. Oh,
that is a good golly.
So yeah, I was super stoked to find one at a reasonable price, no less, and had it shipped out and got it in my hands. And before long, it's going to CGC without a doubt. But yeah, Ultra Magnus, such a badass looking. Unfortunately, not so much in this book. But you know what? What I do love is, like, I wasn't historically a Transformers comic book reader, but everybody hyped up Daniel Warren Johnson going into this with Murder Falcon and do a power bomb and everything. And I said, okay, cool. Let me take a look. And it has resonated. This has been a great series so far. And one of the things I do like is some of the more humanizing aspects that they've given to the Transformers, and ties into this right here. We talk about, Ultra Magnus. Oh, he's such a badass. He's a great warrior from the classic ones, stuff in this series. Not the spoil. Here's a spoiler. So if you're reading this and haven't read the last issue, come back in 60 seconds. Are they gone? All right.
I hope so.
So he has been tortured by Shockwave for hundreds of years on Cybertron. They rescue him. They spent a lot of their resources to restore him back to battle because he's ready to go do battle at the expense of restoring other Autobots. So they restore Ultra Magnus. Ultra Magnus shows up on the scene to do battle, and he sees Shockwave, and he turns tail and runs.
Woo!
Because he's so traumatized by hundreds of years of torture. And that idea of post-traumatic stress and everything else is real. Those are real things. And to have those things carry over into the bots and stuff make it really easy to relate to. So bravo for stuff like that, even though I make fun of the fact that he's such a badass and he turned out to be such a wuss. But in reality, we don't know what's going to happen. He could turn it around and overcome he could go talk to a therapist, get some help he needs, and maybe become a warrior again. Who knows?
I'm just wondering which Transformer would be the therapy Transformer.
Well, that's a good question. Ratchet's dead. Bumblebee's dead. I don't know. Maybe we can mix it up really bad, and maybe Grimlock will become the new therapy bot. That would be which is hilarious.
It would be. He's just sitting there with a cup of whatever the hell their chai tea is.
Right. I mean, really though, it probably would be Perceptor. He strikes me as that kind of the analytical bot, that would sit there and go, yes, tell me. It's
like, Optimus, it's interesting that you said neglectful. Let's go back to that word. What were you thinking? It's like oh my God. And it's so funny. I have that issue with my clients. My clients really want to talk, they really want to vent. But the people in my sector, we work in different offices and we're one team, and we each work in an office where we're part of a greater team, and it's very confusing. But we all have the same thing where the clients just want to come and share, and we have to kind of remind them that, like, we're not therapists. Like, we're your job. We're like your employment specialists. We're your job coach. We're that area. So, now if they just come to vent, I'm like, you get a time limit, and then you get a reminder that you need to talk to your therapist. But yes, I can picture this for the Transformers. Let's see. Omnibo, I recently bought a volume 1 through 8 of the IDW Transformers Phase 1. Am I in for some good reading? I don't know. I, like Rob, am not a huge Transformers reader, but Daniel Warren Johnson has done an excellent job leading us in. Oh my God, Rob, you answered it. You answered Mark's question. Cook the tri-tip to an internal temperature of 125. Let it rest for 10 to 15 minutes until the temperature stops rising and starts to come back down. Wow. Now, I don't own a grill. So what I normally do is I shove my pan in the oven for about 45 minutes at 425.
Oh, a grill. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What did you think I said?
I thought you said Grail. I thought we were going. So like you don't have a Grail comic book. And I said, oh, really? Interesting.
Mark wants to know what type of wood.
For tri-tip, it's always red oak.
Oh wow!
But although that's the preference, but I will on occasion, if I don't have red oak, use either post oak or some old wood barrel oak bourbon barrels.
Okay. All right. So this is what I do. So I sear it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once I get it out of the oven, usually when I leave the pan in for 45 minutes to get super, super, super hot, I have some garlic in there so that the garlic is all nice and ready to roll.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sear the meat and then I throw it back in the oven for about 8 minutes, right? And if I want to get very impressive and add a woodiness to it, I take my roasting pan and I add the wood chips in there and I soak it with hot water from the coffee maker and I put it underneath the pan that I have in the oven for that time frame, for that 8 to 10 minutes. And so I get the illusion of the grill.
Well, so you're not going to get much wood, the wood flavor or aroma that you're getting is probably mostly just in the air. So I probably wouldn't put wood chips in my oven. But if you're going to do it that way, I would recommend that if you're doing a tri-tip, or a really thick steak, is to do what's called the reverse sear. And that is that you're going to cook it first in your oven at a low temperature, like 225, 250 degrees, and until you get an internal temperature that comes up to about 100 degrees, 100, 110. It's obviously super rare. You're not going to eat it. At that point, you're going to take it out, let it rest. While it's resting, go get your pan, get your oil or your butter or whatever you're doing, and get that super hot. Now you're going to go ahead and take that steak, and after it's done resting, we're going to go and put it back in there. Now we're going to sear it after the fact. The advantage here is because we slow cooked it, we didn't lose a bunch of juices to begin with. What we're going to get is differences when you do a normal cook and you cut into that steak. You're going to have, it's going to be well done near the outside where you seared it initially and only pink in the middle. This now the pink is going to be in all the way throughout, and you're just going to have this crust around it.
So the wood chip thing that I do it with my brisket as well. But the brisket is sitting in the oven for up to 6 hours. So I feel that the wood chip phenomenon adds a lot more.
Okay. And it's not penetrating the meat in that short amount of time, but so that's what I'm saying.
Well, no, not in the 8 minutes, but it gives the illusion. Eamon can confirm Rob's meats are absolutely scrumptious. So juicy, I even have pics. I bet you do. Send them to me in my DMs.
That's right. E-Man put my meat in his mouth and he wanted more.
And those are the kind of reviews that we want. My goodness. All right, so we got your comic of the week. I beat my comic of the week. My goodness. All right. We're gonna move into my favorite little game. Let me get it set up.
Uh-oh.
All right, we're moving into Rate It or Hate It. This week's Rate It or Hate It, brought to us by Cover Price, is the top 10 from August in the year 2020. Unlike other top 10s, this one's actually has some variety.
Oh my God. It's just done. I can't believe that that's actually, you think about that 2020 and it's 24 years ago, but it's like
4 years ago. I can't believe it. I'm like, oh my
Oh,
goodness.
wait a second. You're not 20. God damn, I heard you say 2020, but I was in my mind thinking 2000. Never mind.
Yeah, can
Cliff,
you
carry
imagine?
on.
I wish I
I'm going to keep drinking some more of this coffee.
That's
We'll
right.
go
You do that, sir.
Kentucky coffee.
Kentucky coffee. I love that. I love it. All right. So first,
so 2020. Unlike my vision and comic books from Cover Price. Got it. Top 10. Got it. Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. So the first one is number 10, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin.
COVID.
Number 1, the Ash Can. So of course back then it was all the rage, and so anyhow, this book is mostly on the up, despite those that raw number. So rate it or hate it, sir.
Well, I am not a turtle guy, so I was not cool. I was not in on any of this craziness, and I'm sure that the Ash Can probably has held some value versus all of the regular issues that people bought like crazy.
Yes.
But for me, I'm not a fan.
All right. That's a very nice way of saying hate it, and we're gonna pass.
Yeah, I don't. I get. Yeah, I'm not. It's not on my hunt list. That's for sure.
Yeah. Now, number 9 is definitely gonna pique your interest. The first appearance of Anne Weying due to the movie Venom 2, and that is Amazing Spider-Man 375. Rated or hate it?
I have many copies of this book. I do like it. It is the quintessential, one of those quintessential Spider-Man books of that era. Some crackly foily stuff, gimmicky cover, the character very happy. So for me, I got to rate it on what scale?
1 to 5. So like 5 is like absolutely a must. Like 4 is like I want it and it's a good investment. 3, sure, I like it. 2, it's good. 1, like
got it.
Like okay. Somebody out there wants this. Not me.
Right. So I based on that, I have to give it a 3 because while I would tend to lean towards a 4, the good investment part of it makes me make it down to a 3 because I'm not going to tell anybody that this is an investment book. There's lots and lots of copies. It has minimal added value. Maybe you might get a little flash in the pan if you time it just right here and there based on an appearance, but otherwise it's just if you're a Spider-Man fan, you need to have it in your run. But don't expect it to make you money.
Yeah, I agree with the 3. I have a copy or 2 of this. It's a good book, but it's not like, oh no, it's on my Grail list.
And while it has the first appearance, to me, it was, as I recall the story, it's more of what's more important about it is this is really where we get the kind of truce between Venom and Spider-Man, where Venom stops seeing him as all bad because he does save Anne. And, then we kind of get Venom this is where Venom kind of really spins off to become more of the anti-hero as opposed to the villain for Spider-Man.
It's really funny. I've been perusing the Venom War Spider-Man, where the black suit is on Peter currently, and the black suit is like Mary Jane is talking to her boyfriend, asking him to change her power set, and Venom is like, and the Venom suit is like, who's Paul? And it's like, oh, that's her new boyfriend. He's like, what? He's like, I think Venom has all sorts of opinions.
As he should. I have opinions.
But I think it's great. I didn't think I could really enjoy it, but I really enjoyed that moment where the symbiote is clearly we're at a truce now. I'm using you, Spider-Man, because I need you to protect me. And it's just MJ has some rando boyfriend that switches her superpowers. I love it. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. All right, the next one on the list is the first appearance of Thane, son of Thanos. And that's New Avengers number 10 from 2013. Rate it or hate it.
Never heard of Thane.
Really?
But you know, I don't read Avengers or anything else, so I'm very kind of narrow in my lane. So I'm gonna have to go with hate it.
Well, I respect that. It is part of Hickman's run, and I definitely, if you come across a collection, you know, like I did for cheap at Ollie's, go for it. All right, next up on our list from 4 years ago, and I think you'll have some feelings about this. This issue features the first appearance of Miles' uncle, Aaron Davis, as the Iron Spider. And it is Spider-Man number 234.
Yes.
Rated.
I do have a copy of this, and I am late to the Miles train, but I am all I recognize the importance of Miles and what Miles is to so many. So this is definitely a book I'd probably this whole series is because of the importance of Miles and any of these early first appearances. I'm all in. As far as the fact that whether or not his uncle's this Iron Spider is kind of relevant, but I give it a 4.
I agree. I get a 4. And I thought this was a fun adventure. Although there's a lot of critique that, you know, Miles doesn't have a fully developed independent rogues gallery.
Yes.
But
he's starting to get that finally, but yeah, it's taken a while. It was a lot of borrowed, but then again, he is operating in New York.
Yes.
Still, I mean, yes, a different borough, but I mean, yeah, how many supervillains are there, for God's sakes?
Exactly. And also what? Like, it's not easy to get from one part of the city to the other? I mean, like, these people got superpowers. They can fly. They're going to get... The Spot can teleport.
Yeah, so, I mean, I get it. There should be... that if you're operating in the same area, that you're going to have a lot of overlap. And some of this stuff, of course, here in this part of it, we're dealing with... this was before he joined the 616, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
no, this is. I think he's
post 616
at this point.
Okay. All right. So I mean, yeah. I mean, he obviously had his own rogues pre 616, but they were just kind of reimagined, just like he was a reimagined Spider-Man essentially. But now you get he's operating in the same area. You're going to have overlap. It makes sense.
But I mean, it works for me, and it's a good. This was a good book. This is still part of the Bendis run, you know. So like, definitely, again, it's not like an investment, but like, yeah, for your Miles collection, absolutely. The fact that his uncle is a cemented part of his rogues gallery, that the fact that this is like one of the early times that Hobgoblin starts messing with Miles is another factor for me. But I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. All right, next one. The Maestro's first solo series. But it's the 1 in 25 variant by George Perez. Rate it or hate it.
Wow. Not a guy who reads it or else, but I have to say that this is a fire cover. Yes. And I know so many people who are big, huge fans of Hulk that are also huge fans of Maestro. So based on that alone, without knowing anything of really too much about it, I'm going to give it a 4.
Yeah. Just because of my love of George alone, I want to give it a 4. Also, I like that this book has price dropped because it gives me a chance to get it. Yeah, definitely a 4. I want to own it. Next up is a little more interesting. Black Winter was one of the hottest characters back in 2020. Writer Donny Cates seemed like he couldn't miss at the time. Issues of this were flying off the shelf, and that is 2020's Thor number 5.
Yeah, man, I remember when this hit, everybody going crazy. This was like the new Null. Man, we were crazy with COVID.
Yes.
Look, I know lot of people who enjoyed the run, at least the beginning part of the run. I think it kind of, I think from what I understood, it kind of petered out. So I give it a 3. It's not it's nothing to invest in, that's for sure.
Yeah. I give it a 3. I mean, it's still a first appearance. It could be meaningful again one day.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I have fond memories of this run, so yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have I don't have this cover, but I mean, I have, probably a subsequent printing or something, because it was this was one of those series that had a billion variants being done by everybody at the time. And so I ended up into a bunch of them somehow. But again, like I said, I don't think that it's an investment book, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Not that I think comics are a good investment, by the way.
They are and they aren't, right?
For the most part, they're not. Well, I mean, look, the big keys will go up slowly over time, sure, if you hold them long enough. But for the most part, let's just be honest.
Oh, like
don't collect comics for money.
Yeah, no, unless all you're doing is keys. Like maybe then.
Even still.
Next up, rumors of a Spider-Woman film at Sony, helmed by Olivia Wilde, had many collectors picking up the first appearance of Jessica Drew, Marvel Spotlight 32. Rate it or hate it?
I do enjoy this book. I have copy. It's a great book to have in your collection for what it is. But just be wary of warehouse finds. There's lots of copies. It's not a hard book to find. So from that aspect, I think it's important just to remember, and that's why I think you see such a big drop, is I'm pretty sure, as I recall, somewhere it was like in the last 2 years or something, there were stories of a warehouse find of cases of this book being found or something. So,
which is funny because as the raw price has gone up, as the graded price has gone down, it makes me wonder how much.
Well, that's something I've seen that's kind of come on recently. I'm seeing more and more where raw books prices are going up, and that's kind of a twofold, or comes out of different aspects. One, there's people who have big keys that are trying to get the most for them, and they've been pricing them based off of graded prices. And those, even if they don't get that and it comes down some, they're getting higher and higher prices for some of these raw books because they were asking graded prices. So that starts driving the raw book value up. There's also been a resurgence lately in people being against the grading companies and graded books not doing as well because the prices got so out of hand, and people seeking raw books, or people just wanting to have the books raw and not necessarily seeing the value necessarily in slabbing them as much. Slabbing got ridiculous for a while. So there's several different elements that are helping to drive this, but we are seeing, I think, across the market, raw book prices going up while slab prices have been coming down.
Yeah, it's really interesting to me. And sometimes I think people look at the census and that stabilizes. When you see 16,000 9.8 Swan number ones, it kind of,
it's not a rare book. Yeah,
it levels up that playing field.
And here's the reality: if the value of the book is based on the condition, then it shouldn't matter whether it's a graded book or not. I mean, if it's a near mint book, it's a near mint book, and the value of that near mint book is the same. What makes a difference is whether or not you value being able to read and flip the pages more, or whether you value some independent party saying that it's a near mint book, but you can't look at it, so you have to trust what we said.
I mean, and really that's what it comes down to, right? You have to look at varying sources and just trust.
And if you're selling, buying and trading, selling online, well, then obviously that's where graded stuff comes in very handy, is you very easily know what the condition, or at least you have this third party that your guys are agreeing to put faith in as who said that this is the condition the book was in when they put it in there, versus you buying and trading, selling raws online, even with bunches of pictures. is always still a risk because you can't. There's something that you just lost in zooming on pictures and stuff versus physically looking at a book and changing the angle that you're looking at the book and stuff, because you can hide a lot of stuff with camera angles and lighting.
Yeah, and a beautiful fresh bag.
Mylar, yeah.
Well, I don't know. How do you feel about the new blended Mylar?
I don't know. What do you, when you say blended Mylar?
I don't know what I'm talking about. Unfortunately,
okay.
All I know
So you're talking about BOP bags, biaxial oriented polypropylene?
Is all I know is that they are a Mylar something like blend.
So BOP bags, or OPP sometimes they're called. These are poly bags, much like your regular poly bag, but the difference is in the construction. So a traditional poly bag, that the cheapo ones you get, they're called blown. They're called blown in the fact because they blow air into the thing and woo. And then there's the biaxial oriented polypropylene. Those bags are poly bags, but they're built and constructed the same way that Mylar bags are done. So they end up feeling and looking very much like Mylar, but they have and they're more stable. They don't outgas the same, but they're going to be far cheaper than Mylar. I have been a big fan of these, and I have done videos on this topic, talking about these things. And I use OPP bags or BOP bags all the time for most of my books because the performance to price. In a nice 2 mil bag, they're absolutely phenomenal and super durable.
Well, all I can say is you're the reason I bought them, and I love them. And so, like, I saw your video. I ordered a whole bunch of products, and I'm like, it's so pretty.
Yeah, and they're ultra clear. They look phenomenal. I still use Mylar for like my Golden Age books and so stuff. But one of the advantages, especially with older books, the BOP bag, the lip or the flap isn't quite as sharp. And when you're putting old brittle books into Mylar or any bag, though, you need to be careful that can be like a razor blade and just slice right through that page if you're not careful. So anyways,
look at that. Thanks.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's me too. Everything shipped for free from Canada. If you go
they'll ship for free if you buy over $100 worth. Yeah,
but it's so easy to hit 100. So
yeah,
easy.
Yeah, because you buy like 500 boards, 500 bags or something, and they got clear backer boards. They got all kinds of stuff. Yeah, good stuff.
I'm very impressed.
Their slab sleeves also that same look phenomenal. The only problem is really thick slabs. That material doesn't stretch the same as blown poly does, and so if you have a really thick slab, it just tears it. It's too much for it to handle, Cliff.
I wouldn't know anything about that problem. All right, moving up to the next one. Peach Momoko was a household name by 2020. She was putting out a cover regularly, which flew off the shelves. This particular variant at the time was selling for $36, and that is Captain Marvel: The End #1.
Nice. I have a copy of this.
Ooh.
And I was big on Peach Momoko for a lot of stuff. I didn't like everything that she put out. This was probably actually one of the ones I was a little bit less on, but it was still a fun cover. I was a 3.
I would agree with a 3, and this is definitely one of her better covers. I feel like her covers have ebbed and weight over time as she's become more popular.
I think they're getting better for the most part recently, but that's because she's putting out less.
Exactly. Now that she's more focused, she's been more focused. She released her Demon Days series. She released Ultimate X-Men. Now that she's a little more focused on storytelling, I find
the difference is now she's a contract artist for Marvel versus before she was an independent. So she was doing anything and everything that was coming her way, and she was doing, like you said, there were months during COVID where she would have 4 or 5 different covers out on different titles. And so as a result, the quality kind of was hit and miss at times.
Absolutely. But this is a good one. Absolutely a good one. All right, bringing us to number 2. DC has had a lot of success with the death metal banner. In August of 2020, this book was selling very well, featuring the first appearance of Robin King, and that is Dark Knight's Death Metal Legends of the Dark Knights number 1.
Would anybody like a copy of this? I mean, because my God, I don't think you can practically give it away. I'm sorry. I know that a lot of people loved this whole stuff.
I'm not one of them.
I wasn't one of them to begin with, but this book was what? Oh God, no, hate it.
I'm gonna have to agree with you, though. I do respect the Tony Daniel cover. Oh my God! But you know what? Number 1.
Phil says I did give all mine away.
I did give all mine away. Oh look, E-Man, I have that book too. All right, that brings us to number 1. Number 1 brings us to Marvel 1978. Back on the speculation list once again, thanks to Olivia Wilde, and that is Spider-Woman number 1. I feel like it's going to be a rated.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely a rated. This is a book that there's a lot of copies of, and it's not, obviously we already covered the first appearance, so this is just the first solo. So again, it's not, I don't think when I give it it's not for an investment aspect, because I don't think it's ever going to be a pricey book. But I think that if you like the Spider-Verse, you like Marvel, I think that this is a classic, book to go ahead and have in your collection. It's a good solid key to have, even if it's never going to be a super valuable one.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's a 4 for me. You know what? I want to give it a 5 because I love this book and I want this book. But yes, 4 is absolutely fair. Look at Joe back on the old system. We moved to 1 to 5, baby. I'm sorry.
I feel that this is a book that I would have in my giveaway bin.
And it's a great book to have in the giveaway bin. It's a great book. I'm all for it.
No, if a raw near mint is going for like $26, then absolutely, this is a book that I would find a VF plus or something, and I'm throwing it in my giveaway bin. Just make Chris go, what the hell?
Exactly. I would, just to see. Hey, if you could find a Marvel premiere with, what was it? Marvel premiere with their first appearance?
Yeah.
If you find one of those and throw it in there, Marvel Spotlight, just to shock him, just to shock Chris, that'd be great.
Well, Chris would be shocked by this too, but so.
I know, but I want to see him. I want to see the blood drain from his face. Oh, I love you, Chris. I'm sorry. All right. Well, once again, thank you for playing. Ooh, that got a little weird for a second. Okay. Well,
it's weird between us.
Weird is always, weird is subjective. Weird is fun. All right. That brings us to my favorite.
Or to quote the Craft, we are the weirdos, mister.
Oh, that's right. I should rewatch that movie. I think it's been like 10, 11 years.
It's Halloween time. It's a good time to watch the movie.
It's a great time. I like to watch that around Halloween. I like to watch Practical Magic because I'm just a sucker for that movie. I like watching the original Halloween. I love watching Suspiria. That's on my horror list. I just think that that's like a brilliant Italian vampire film, and like more people need to know it and love it. So yeah, I'm big on those. Maybe that'll be part of my October theme. But in the meantime, I gave you homework, sir, and it is time for the 5-finger shuffle.
I might have an extra digit, but we'll deal with that.
That's okay.
All right. So, and you wanted a theme.
Yes,
so I gave you a theme. My theme is comics curing cancer.
I love it.
All these books are going to be books that are available during Comics Curing Cancer. And so we're going to go from some of these older books to some of the newer books, just give you an idea of some of the books that are out there and available. So first up, this book was donated to us by Austin LeMay. You want to make me bigger? I don't know.
Yes.
Let me try to.
Boom.
Yeah. Actually, let me move my mic a little bit so that way I can get some better angle without as much glare. There we go. That's the better position. So Iron Man, the premiere big issue #1 in a 3.0. And with that is also comes an Austin LeMay original sketch of Iron Man. So those are going to that's going to be one of the things that's available.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Set that aside. And then from Man Cave Comics, we have signed by Jerry Conway, the first appearance of the Jackal.
Woo! And the Punisher.
And Skullboy.
And Skullboy.
That's our running joke on Only Slabs, is that this is the first appearance of Jackal and Skullboy. Yeah. But yeah, so that's going to be 5.5, signed by Jerry Conway. Absolutely great. And of course, Evel Knievel, baby. Yeah.
That's a fabulous book.
And then this next one, this was donated by oh god, I feel bad. I'm forget. Oh, Dragon Ink Comics.
Oh, okay.
So Dragon Ink donated this Marvel Superhero Secret Wars #8. It's triple signed.
Woo!
And it's a Canadian price variant.
Woo!
As noted, yeah, it says Canadian price variant.
Amazing. Amazing.
So there you go. So that was, I was like, oh, except first I was, oh, it's a newsie. Then I realized it was a price variant. I was like, oh, god dang. So that's cool. Unfortunately, I don't remember who donated this, but we could throw out that Ultimate #4.
Yes. Beautiful.
So that's always good.
A fight will be had for that one for sure.
Yeah. Keeping the from Dr. Von Hoot, wanted to make sure that DC didn't feel unrepresented. So we got some Action Comics showing off a new haircut.
Right, the haircut.
Yes.
I love the way,
and a lovely smile.
I love how the P for Power Girl really like opens up for a window so that her boobage can breathe.
And then last, actually, I have two other books here. These two are both donated by me. First up, again, we have this cover. Here we got that Ultimate Spider-Man. This is the trade dress variant.
Yes.
Ultimate Spider-Man 4 in a 9.8. So that's
Beautiful.
going to be available during Comics Curing Cancer.
That's awesome.
And the last, just to give our independents a little love.
Ooh.
How about that Creature from the Black Lagoon?
Holy cow.
In a 9.9.
That's amazing.
This is the Alex Ross variant.
That is so
limited to 1,000 copies.
Amazing.
So there we go. Yeah, I had two copies. One came back in 9.8, one came back 9.9. And in a moment of craziness, I decided that I would keep the 9.8 and donate the 9.9. So,
woof.
So yeah, those are my my 5 Comics Curing Cancer books plus 2.
You said you might have a +1.
It was actually +2. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I said +1 just so you'd say okay, and then I slipped an extra one in there for good measure.
Well, that's all right. And for those of you who have not, who haven't seen it yet. From Ryan Gary Brown, I have this signed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 going to
Nice.
Cancer. Ryan also gave me this original Spawn for Comics Curing Cancer. Freshly colored on the spot for me. From Adriana Mello and Joe Prado, this page from Constantine, Truth and Justice.
Wow.
Which they signed. And at CBCS, taking its sweet time getting graded, is Miracle Man #0, Comics Curing Cancer 2024, remarked by Terry Dodson.
Phenomenal. Thank you, Cliff.
Those are my contributions. I hope we get it together. Obviously, if CBCS keeps taking their time, I'll bundle this together with whatever else the council pulls together, and we'll send it to you. And this year, I'm prepared to wrap cardboard upon cardboards to tightly pack the art.
Good. Oh yeah.
I'm so mad at myself last year. I was so desperate to get stuff in the mail that I just did not think. And the stupid mail person, they have never failed me, but on that day they absolutely failed me. I told them how important it was, and they didn't give me a single freaking clue. They were like, here, use this Duffy bag. And I was just like, it's for charity. And they're like, yeah. And no. Never
it didn't
again.
arrive in very good condition. But,
it's not happening. It's going to be great.
So the pro artists, because this is like a shipment from artists, they like to use the medium flat rate boxes just flat, and then tape them up and stuff. And then especially if you put a little bit of extra cardboard in there, because of the folds and seams, that's how they tend to ship them.
And that's great. And I'll be sure to take advantage of that. I also have some 18 by 20 size boxes in the corner. So I'm hoping that I can bind them up and then put everything together in the large box and send it.
Well, Bor, postal workers don't give a fuck.
That's the thing. Mine know me for 17 years.
The problem, Cliff, is it's your local guy, and it's a vast network. So while you might have one person in that chain that likes you, the rest of them don't give a shit.
Horrible. And don't think that I didn't give him crap over it too.
I'm sure it wasn't him who did the problem. Was the problem?
No, but he let it happen. He let me do it.
Oh,
Oh,
he let you package it that way.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm desperate. I'm trying to get it sent to you by the deadline. I'm telling him all of this, that it's for charity, that I'm desperate, the deadline, the sweat pouring down my face, and he let me do it. He said, this is fine. I was like, how dare you?
Well, and let's bring that up again, just so we're clear here. The deadline this year, if you've got donations that you've been sitting on or things that you were going to sit there and donate to Comics Curing Cancer, the deadline to get stuff in so we get time to check it in, do everything we need to do this year is September 23rd. So it's just over 3 weeks from now. So please don't sit on it any longer. This weekend, you got a long weekend. Take that time opportunity to go out to your collection, go through it, find those items that you wanted to donate, or maybe you already have them just stacked sitting there waiting. Ping me or Mark or DJ, or more importantly, just ping Comics Curing Cancer, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram. Reach out to us and say, hey, I've got some items I want to send in. Where do I send it? We'll give you the address to send it to, and off you go.
That's right. Make it happen.
The big thing is when you send in your items, if you want a donation receipt, you need to enclose your email address and a note in with your stuff saying, could you please send me a donation receipt to, and give me your email address. Otherwise, the assumption is you don't want a donation receipt, and I'm not going to chase you down for one because it's extra effort. But I'm happy to provide them because you're providing us with books of donation. You deserve the opportunity to try to deduct it on your taxes. So
that's right. And I don't understand everything about the tax system. I know I do whatever my CPA sister tells me to do.
Well, from this aspect, it's very simple. If you're donating an item like this book, right? This has a value. I'm donating it to Comix Curing Cancer. I am able to list on my donations the fair market value of this book. Now, you as the donor are the one who decides what the fair market value is. I, as the recipient, I don't do that. I just give you a receipt that says we received this in this condition, and I acknowledge it. Then you fill in what the value is. Whether or not you overvalue it, undervalue, whatever, that's between you and the IRS, and I'm not involved in that situation if you get audited. But you're able to declare the full market value because you're not getting anything in exchange. Now, when it comes to the actual auctions and stuff, when you're buying things and you purchase, let's say I've donated this book, I've gotten the fair market value for it, and Cliff decides he wants it and he bids on it, he becomes the high bidder. Cliff does not get to write off the money he paid to acquire this book legally, unless he pays beyond the fair market value. Then only the amount that he pays above the fair market value is he able to write off as his taxes. So if this book was valued at $100 and Cliff bids $90, he gets the book for $90. Congratulations, no write-off. If he pays $200 for this $100 book, then he can write off up to $100. Make sense?
There you go.
Now, whether or not you're able to actually realize any deductions from that depends upon your tax bracket and your other write-offs, because there is a cap on your donations federally, and usually at the state level too. Your individual states vary. Obviously, I'm not a tax expert. You should consult your tax expert and CPA and whatever else for actual true guidance and advice.
As I stand by. Luckily, I have someone in the family.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. I think that's everything for Comix Curing Cancer.
Well, we had one other little piece that we didn't talk about. We haven't released the actual lineup yet, which is coming hopefully this weekend. I'm going to get this out publicly. But Cliff is joining the Comix Curing Cancer lineup this year, and Cliff with Coffee and Comics will be one of the shows during our 3-day event.
Yes, so, I'm trying to line up a special guest for October 5th. I'm really trying.
Fabulous.
So,
thank you.
We'll see how grand I get with my special guest. But I'm gonna shoot for the stars. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I am so excited about Comix Curing Cancer. I think it's amazing. I've been telling everybody about it. Last night I was doing an interview with Nerd Culture News with Mitch Haddock, who runs Terrificon. And I was like, Mitch, you've got a huge collection. Comix Curing Cancer, if you're looking to get rid of stuff to make room in the house, Comix Curing Cancer can use it. So I'm hitting up everybody who'll listen and hoping for the best.
Appreciate that. I mean, it's really, one of those things where every time I talk to somebody about Comix Curing Cancer who doesn't know it the first time, is attached with it the story, and that is their story of how cancer has affected them, and every single person has a story, and that's, as much as I joke about cancer being the supervillain and all this other stuff, trying to tie it into comic books, that's the harsh reality, is that every single person does have a story, whether direct or indirect, with cancer. I haven't met anybody who said, no, I don't know anybody who's ever had cancer. I don't know. What is that? The only cancer I know is my father was born in June, or I don't know, or July, whatever.
I an aunt to pancreatic cancer. I lost my cousin, her daughter, to brain cancer.
Yeah.
It's just it's always there.
Yeah. So I would love, when you sit there and say, look, the goal of comics curing cancer, sure, ultimately the goal of the American Cancer Society is they'd love to live in a day someday where there is no cancer. Right now, I'll settle for living in a day where I actually do meet somebody who doesn't have a story.
Well, imagine, right?
Yeah. So, as they say on some of the, not to steal from other campaigns, but until there's a cure, I suppose.
Exactly. Until there is a cure, sir. And again, your channel, everything's going to Comics Curing Cancer, Anachromics, Comics, all of his channel donations, or all of his channel contributions are being donated to St. Jude's.
I will say that. So running, the last thing I have is over on Mark's Legion of Comics channel, because Mark is one of the Comics Curing Cancer figureheads, along with DJ Links. He had, in his community, there was a poll for the 2024 Comics Curing Cancer event t-shirt. There's 4 designs to choose from. We're ending the voting this weekend so that we can then release what the new design is and have it available for the event. So if you haven't voted yet, swing on over to Legion of Comics after this and go ahead and go to this community section, find the poll, and vote.
Let's see who's winning right now on the poll. Spider-Man,
I believe it. Yeah, the Austin LeMay, the cover art from all the pieces were taken from the art book, and then so I think the Austin LeMay cover is winning, but by all means. Yeah, Joe, the one I'm wearing is a bit much. This is a special piece that was custom. It's not a generally available piece.
The one you're wearing is a bit much. What do you mean a bit much? I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
C3.
It sends the message, and it's in very heroic colors. I love the red, yellow, blue of Superman and Thor.
What it is so the year when I first made this was the color scheme we were using on a lot of our campaign stuff. So, hey, you know what? I like baseball jerseys.
That's okay. I love it. I missed out on a Venom baseball jersey. It's very hard to find those things in my size, And
Joe, it can be all the small criticism you want, but I don't care because I'm not asking anybody to wear it. I'm not selling it. Anything else. This is. You looked at it, you paid attention, and you recognize what it is. That's all that matters. It's gotten me, when I go to the conventions and I represent, people recognize, they ask about it, gives me an opportunity to then talk about it to people, and I've gotten a lot of donations because of it. So
I would wear the hell out of one. I'm just saying. Let me get that in a 4XLT. I'll rock it everywhere I'll go.
Stefan Rue and Stephanie Lavad both are donating pieces because of this jersey. Because when I was getting a signature at a convention, they saw it. Stephen Rue asked what it was. I told him. He pledged to donate something and called Stephanie Lavad over and said, "Hey, you guys need to talk because Stephanie's a cancer survivor, and she donated a sketch cover right then and there, and then committed another piece that she's sending over. So it's worth its while."
I gotta tell you, Terry Dodson was just lovely, and when I was getting the signature and the remark, and I was explaining to him, because the witness was there from CBCS, how the remark has to say Comics Curing Cancer 2024, so that Comics Curing Cancer will appear on the label, because I really wanted that. I really wanted the total package. Anyhow, he was very nice. He charged me like half price,
What a bastard! Did he charge you at all?
No. Well, I happen to have been there in 2011 at New York Comic Con, where someone really ran afoul of him and his wife, and so I had told him. I did not bring up that incident, but I remember it clear as day, and I told him, I was like, hey, I don't want to bother you like I'm some kind of solicitor. He goes, no. And he goes, but of course, when I told him it has to say Comix Screen Cancer on it, he just smiled. He charged me a lesser fee. He signed my other books at no fee, by the way. Like, so
nice.
that was really nice.
So he charged you for the one for charity, but then for the ones that weren't, he get that for free.
Right. Well, because the one for charity has the remark. So you actually have to sit there and do a little work.
Okay, whatever. Right.
But listen, I get it. And,
I've just, yeah.
And by the way, it could have been more because he was doing $10 a signature. So I got 3 signatures that were better than the discounted piece he did. But yeah, him and Terry, him and Rachel, there was this gentleman who was hounding them at New York Comic Con for a piece for his alleged sister in the hospital or niece in the hospital, and rushing them to finish it. And sure enough, Rachel found it online for sale Saturday night that weekend. And it was just really, really, really awful. So there was a few years where they were just not doing con sketches, the two of them. And now, of course, they've balanced it out like many artists have. So I'm very mindful of those incidents. And I'm very happy when people are receptive, and whether it's a discount or they give me something for free, it's what I like. Joe gave me this piece for free, which was great. The one of him and Adriana.
Wow.
So, but I paid for my Iceman piece that he did for me. But he was like, "Oh, Comix Screen Cancer." He's like, "Okay, yeah, sounds great." And he introduced me to Adriana, and she was like, "No, Cliff is a really good guy. I've known him for many years," which is true. I've known him since like 2007. So that was really great, and I really appreciate them. And it's a double signature original page, so I'm thrilled with that.
No, absolutely, and it's got the hero on it.
Yes, and it's got the hero on it. It's got Constantine, the star of the book, right on the page.
Yeah, because there's a lot of pages sometimes you get that where it's like, yeah, it's from this thing, but yeah, no, that character's not on there.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 21. There's not one turtle on the page. It's all Foot Soldiers and April.
Or worse.
Or worse, yes. But it's very rarely worse. But it's sometimes. All right. Well, sir, actually, I was going to say, where can we find you? We're going to find you with Comic Cop Collectibles this afternoon at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Only Slabs. And I'm looking
3 hours, right?
In 3 hours, because he promised bangers. Oh, Peter joined us, 2 of my favorite Americans. Woo, don't tell Efren.
That's the running joke, because I was on his show one time, and Efren, he referred to me as his favorite American, and Efren was right there, and it was like this. Efren, I'm so sorry.
Like, I'm on the show with you every week.
and he meant to say one of mine, and he just said my favorite. So it's become a running joke now. But it's like, and it's all right. Efren is my favorite American because he got me that Bussy Buster.
Yes.
Yeah. So he got me a Virgin Mary Jane. I didn't even know that was possible, even though she has kids. Who knew?
Well, if you don't use it, it grows back.
All righty then. Hey, there you are.
Shop for Comics is here too. Everyone's coming in later. Do I have to move my show? What do I got to do? What do I got to do to get people in? But I appreciate everyone for coming out. Rob, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing us to discuss Comix Screen Cancer.
It's a great cause, and this is the end of August. Like, I can't believe how the first weekend of October will be here in no time.
You're telling me.
Yeah. So how's that garage looking?
It's not as full as I would like it to be.
All right,
again,
everybody.
You got 3 weeks remaining. Reach on out. Help us hit that goal, 50,000. Take this long weekend as an opportunity to take a look around your. Maybe there's some books that you don't fit your PC anymore, or you just you know what, I can live without this one, or I've been meaning to want to upgrade this one. Let me force the issue. I'll donate the one I have. That'll force me to go get that upgrade I want. We're happy to take your. Reach us out, Comics Curing Cancer, Instagram or Facebook. Hey, and if you're not following us on Facebook and you're on Facebook, consider giving us a follow, finding us on Comics Curing Cancer and following us there too. We're trying to get that out to more people, just because we know there is an audience that is a Facebook audience that doesn't do Instagram, and the more people we have following us helps us get suggested to more people. So help us out if you don't mind following us on Facebook, Comics Curing Cancer.
Comics Curing, okay. Is there an old logo for Comics Curing Cancer?
There is an old logo.
All right, but this one says 13 public members or 13 members. I don't feel like that's the right one.
No, so
I found it. There we go. I've already liked the page. Have I already liked the page? Boy, it's loading really slow. I should not be messing around. All right, it is.
I just put the link in the chat.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Or maybe I didn't, because I don't know if I have a wrench or not.
Look at event. Oh wait, do you have a wrench?
I don't know, but I've just put it in the private chat so you can drop it if nothing else.
All right, I will grab that. I jumped over to the wrong place. No.
Comic Vet, we don't Irish up our coffee here. We Kentucky it up.
We Kentucky it up. I love that. I love that. All right, here we go. There it is.
Thank you, Cliff.
My pleasure. And no one, I said, which of the August 2020 top 10 was your favorite? No one answered that question. Oh my God. Well, thanks for that, everybody. I should just stick to polls. That's what I should do.
You can do pole dancing?
You know what? Maybe I will for your next birthday.
Wow.
I mean, your wife set the bar. I gotta deliver for her every year. And I was a little bit outdone by Pocan Joe. He added fireworks,
Yeah, Pocan is quite the great individual and a master of great props. And
I can create the OnlyFans version of C3 complete with hair flips. My God. And you know what the sad thing is I could immediately envision how I would want to shoot it. Like big sudsy hot tubs, Eamon's hair flowing, that ASMR voice he delivers. Like I could just make if I had the talent, I would just make them, and I would just be like, remember, every dime of this OnlyFans is going to Comics Curing Cancer and the American Cancer Society. I would totally do it.
No, there you go. And he's going, no, it's only for Cliff.
Well, is it only going to be for my viewing, or only do it because for me to do it for Comics Curing Cancer?
Sure. Let's go with yes for both.
Yeah. You have the talent, Cliff. I have the vision. I don't have the talent. That's the thing. That's
how I am with many things. I can visualize things. I can come up with ideas, but I need people to bring my ideas when it comes to art, often to physical. That's where Shop and I had partnered for DVH. I don't have the skills or the patience. I don't have the patience to learn the skills. How's that?
I feel that is kind of true for me. It's the patience is definitely a factor, but also I just don't have the knowledge. Like I try little things, and if they work, they work. I'm really proud of myself for all the stuff I've done with Canva. So
you try little things, and if they work, they work, and if they don't, they don't.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I really enjoy trying big things.
Big things can have with big results.
Big things have big results. That is very true in a lot of cases.
And sometimes they're big disappointments.
Well, that's a whole different packaging thing. I find that sometimes there are fantastic surprises with a small presentation, and then sometimes there's just not a surprise, and it's a bit down, But South America really delivers in that department. They really deliver.
They do. They have some great artists down there doing some great comic work. Just in case somebody thought we were talking about something different.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And anyhow, it is my mother's birthday. I must return.
Well, happy birthday to Cliff's mom. Hooray. Yeah. She's 29.
Again. Yes, she is. She's 20. She's 29 for the 52nd time.
Yes.
There we go. I love it.
Okay, maybe she's coming up on 39.
Exactly.
Mom, at this point, we're not fooling anybody. You're not 29. Let's go with 39, okay?
You don't know how it's a game every year. My mom. So now we've locked my mother in at 80.
Mm-hmm.
And even at 80, her clients are like, "Oh my goodness, hi, Sonia Lydia." No, like everyone's shocked that she's 80. Absolutely shocked, And I love it. But yeah, happy birthday to my mom. And it's wonderful. All right. So I've been saying thank you for joining me for 10 minutes or more.
Yeah. Let's knock this off so you can go spend time with mommy.
Yeah, as much as she enjoys me. If you could only see us this morning. Good morning, Mom. I love you. Happy birthday, darling. Now get to work on this immigration. It's like, why don't you write anything clearly for me?
Wow.
Oh my God. We are full of love. We are also Puerto Rican. It's deadly. But Rob, it was a pleasure. Everyone who joined us, thank you. If you missed out, please catch the rewind. We did our Bussy Buster, our comic of the week. We did Rated or Hated from Cover Price's top 10 from 4 years ago, which was not as sad and tragic as I thought it was going to be.
It still was, very much a 2000 thing. There's only one DC book on the whole list.
Yeah, it's true. It makes you wonder, what are you doing, DC? What are you doing?
I looked. I thought I saw like the other day the top 20, and it was like one book from DC on the top 20, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, DC needs to like make some valid moves. Let's hope that they can do it. All right. And Madam came in this morning to say hello. Peter will go back and check the rest. Mike, thank you for joining us. All right, everybody. I love you guys. Until next time. Next week, MJ Comics, straight from the UK. I'll be in Canada. Let's hope the internet doesn't break. All right. Take care.